Correct.
And then, I'm sorry, you said 8. That would be
It would have been 9:36.
9:36, correct?
Yes.
That's this text here, everything's still good. 9:36 p.m., June 13th, correct?
Yes, sir.
You may have noticed the blur on the screen. We were blurring out a lot of the expletives that were being used in those text messages and the phone numbers. Joey, they were going through a timeline, it seems, from the days leading up to the murder of Odin Lloyd. They weren't necessarily talking about what was being discussed in those text messages. Joey, what are they trying to establish here, you think?
Well, remember the overall theory, Yasmin, right? He is the orchestrator. That is Aaron Hernandez. He is the ringleader. That is Aaron Hernandez. He made all of this happen with Ortiz and Wallace being his co-defendants. And so ultimately, there's two things. The one thing, clearly there's some type of relationship with Odin Lloyd that apparently went bad. And then obviously the other thing is, was he plotting? Was he preparing? Was he leading him into a false sense of security so that ultimately, boom, he can do what he needed to do, which was kill him? And so I think those two things play very big for the prosecution: the plotting, the planning, the orchestrating, and the nature of the relationship between the two men, one deceased.
Tanya, you know, this is a little overwhelming even for me to watch when I'm watching this stuff. What do I make of this? I can only imagine what it's like being a juror in this situation. Is this too much for them?
It might be. You know, you have to be really careful as a prosecutor when you start getting into these very technical piece-by-piece pieces of evidence. You have to put it into a context for the jury. This is a largely circumstantial case. Circumstantial cases are really, literally, death by 1,000 paper cuts. So any one piece of evidence might not be all that significant. So you've got to put it into the context for the jury. I hope that he is doing that, because if you look at it just piece by piece, it doesn't seem very significant. There's no smoking gun in those text messages. So he's got to make it make sense, connect it up.
Yeah, we got to get a smoking gun, right, Joey?
Absolutely. And on closing argument, Tanya Miller, if she was the prosecutor, would connect those dots, but you got to connect them with the jury as you go along. And we're going to get you back to the murder trial right now that we've been watching. That's Aaron Hernandez in just a bit, but you